Continuing from where we stopped in the video lesson, part 6. But what if we question the premise itself? Premise means the background or the argument itself. What if we question the argument itself? Why should a woman's success be a threat to a man? What if we decide to simply dispose of that word? I don't know if there is an English word I dislike more than this: emasculation. See, emasculation is the process by which a man's male identity is taken away. Adichie says that we should question that argument itself, that uh, question that premise itself, the concept itself. Why should a woman's success be a threat to man? Why should he be afraid of the success of a woman? So she says that this is a word that she hates so much, and we should dispose of that word. That concept itself should be discarded. A Nigerian acquaintance, a friend, once asked me if I was worried that men would be intimidated. Intimidate means frighten somebody to achieve their aims. So a Nigerian friend asked Adichie if she was worried that men would be intimidated, men would be frightened by me. She said, I was not worried at all. It had not even occurred to me to be worried. Why should she be worried that men would be frightened of her? Why should she? It had not occurred to me to be worried, because a man who would be intimidated or frightened by me is exactly the kind of man I would have no interest in. So she says that she is not at all interested in a man who will be frightened of her. Still, I was struck by this. Because I am female, I am expected to aspire to marriage. Aspire to means wish to marriage. I am expected to make my life choices, always keeping in mind that marriage is the most important. Marriage can be a good thing, a source of joy, love, and mutual support. But why do we teach girls to aspire to marriage, yet we don't teach boys to do the same? So, regarding marriage, see, being a female, she is expected to wish for marriage, and girls are taught that marriage is the most important thing in their life. uh, of course, marriage is a good thing. It can be a source of joy, love, mutual support, etc. But we provide one attitude about marriage to girls and another approach to marriage to the boys. Boys are not pressurized regarding marriage. I know a Nigerian woman who decided to sell her house because she didn't want to intimidate a man who might want to marry her. So this is quite strange that a Nigerian woman whom Adichie uh, knows sold her house because she didn't want to intimidate a man who is going to marry her. So quite a strange behavior. I know an unmarried woman in Nigeria who, when she goes to conferences, wears a wedding ring because she wants her colleagues to give her respect. So, in order to get respect, a woman who is going to conferences used to wear wedding ring. She believed that only her wedding ring will provide her respect. The sadness in this is that wedding ring will indeed automatically make her seem worthy of respect, while not wearing a wedding ring would make her easily dismissible. And this is in a modern working place. See, Adichie is of the opinion that it is all right that she wears a ring to get respect, but not wearing a wedding ring makes her easily dismissible. That is not justice. Just because a woman is not having a wedding ring in her hand and she will not be worthy of respect, that is not justice. Especially she is going to conferences in a modern workplace. This is quite bad. I know young women who are under so much pressure from family, from friends, even from work to get married that they are pushed to make terrible choices. See, this small paragraph, this what said here is exactly what happens in our place as well. വിവാഹം ഒരു ഭയങ്കര പ്രഷറായി മാറുകയും നിർബന്ധിതമായിട്ട് കല്യാണം കഴിക്കാൻ നിർബന്ധിതമായി തീരുന്ന സാഹചര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലും കുട്ടികൾക്ക് വളരെയധികം അനുഭവിക്കേണ്ടി വരാറുണ്ട് ഈ കാലത്ത് പോലും. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് റിയലി എ wonder to know that this same social condition exists in Nigeria as well. Our society teaches a woman at a certain age who is unmarried to see it as a deep personal failure, while a man at a certain age who is unmarried has not quite come around with to making his pick. So this is an attitude of our society that a woman not married is considered as a personal failure, while a man of a certain age who is unmarried is only because he has not found his choice. That is how it is viewed upon. So, a woman, especially in Kerala, a woman who is approaching the age of 30 and not married is considered uh, as a person of failure, while uh, a phrase, a chronic bachelor, something like that, is considered as a credit. So, this is the injustice in it. It is easy to say that women can just say no to all of this, but the reality is more difficult, more complex. We are social beings, we internalize ideas from our socialization. It is easy for those people who are standing outside to say that women can say no to all this, but we are living in a society and it is very difficult to question that we are all social beings. We internalize the ideas from our socialization. Socialization means the process by which we uh, uh, we take our ideas and be part of the society. Even the language we use illustrates this. Uh, the language of marriage is often a language of ownership, not a language of partnership. So, marriage in marriage uh, there is uh, a tempo of ownership in it, in the language used. It is not considered as a, it should be considered uh, as a relationship, uh, relationship of sharing everything, but it is not so. It is often considered as a way in which partnership, way in which ownership is transferred from one to another. So we use the word respect for something a woman shows a man, but not for a man shows a woman. So respect uh, is a word that we use for something that a man has to show to a woman, not something in return. Both men and women will say, I did it for the peace in my marriage. So when men say it, it is usually about something they should not be doing anyway. So you might have heard people say when they are talking about marriage, വീട്ടിലെ കുടുംബത്തിന്റെ സമാധാനത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ആണ് ഞാനത് ചെയ്തത്. ഇത് ആണുങ്ങളും പെണ്ണുങ്ങളും ഒരുപോലെ പറയും എന്ന് പറയും. പക്ഷേ ആണ് പറയുമ്പോഴും പെണ്ണ് പറയുമ്പോഴും ഇതിന് രണ്ട് അർത്ഥമാണുള്ളത്. ആണ് പറയുമ്പോൾ അയാൾ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതില്ലാത്തൊരു കാര്യം അയാൾക്ക് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വന്നു എന്ന നിലയ്ക്കാണ് ആണുങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെ പറയാറ്. പക്ഷേ സ്ത്രീ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തു എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് അവളത് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ്, അത് അവളുടെ ഡ്യൂട്ടിയാണ് അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്ന നിലയ്ക്കാണ് അതിനെ കാണുന്നത്. സോ men say it is usually said about something they should not be doing anyway, something they say to their friends in a totally exasperated way. Exasperated means tired irritating way is that, uh, oh, my wife said I can't go to clubs every night. So now, for peace in my marriage, I go only on weekends. So a man says, I did it for peace in my marriage, about going to the bar or going to the club or something like that, something that is not so necessary in their life. But when a woman says that I did it for peace in my marriage, it is usually they have given up a job, a career, a goal, a dream, etc. So when a woman says that she did it for the peace of my marriage, it will usually be a job that she had given up. It is usually a career goal, a dream, etc. Usually, when a man says, I did it for the peace of marriage, it is often about things like going to club or going to bar or something. So when we teach females that in relationships, compromise is what a woman is most likely to do. So when we are talking about compromise, we consider it as something a woman should do. So we raise girls to see each other as competitors, not for jobs or accomplishments, which in my opinion can be a good thing, but for the attention of men. So we raise girls uh, to see each other as competitors. It is good if we are viewing as competitors for jobs or other accomplishments, but not so. We raise them to see as competitors in order to win the attention of men. We teach girls that they cannot be sexual beings in the way boys are. If we have sons, we don't mind knowing about their girlfriends, but our daughters' boyfriends, God forbid. So sometimes we may discuss about the girlfriends of our boys, but it will not be uh, same to discuss the boyfriends of our daughters. So, but of course, we expect them to bring home the perfect man for marriage when the time is right. So, even though the things are like that, we expect that she will, uh, the person she will marry should be a perfect man. We police girls. Police girls means we monitor them, we follow them closely, we control them. We praise girls for virginity, but we don't praise boys for virginity. And it makes me wonder how exactly this is supposed to work out, since the loss of virginity is a process that usually involves two people of opposite genders. So, virginity in boys are not given much importance, but and we praise girls for their virginity, and we don't praise boys for their virginity. So, whenever two people, whenever a boy and a girl, whenever a man and a woman interacts, it is uh, the loss of virginity is same for both. However, the loss of women's virginity is considered as something so important. Recently, a young woman was gang raped in a university in Nigeria, and the response of many young Nigerians, both male and female, was something like this: yes, rape is wrong, but what is a girl doing in a room with four boys? So this is a very inhuman question that is asked. They admit that rape is wrong, but they again ask another question: what a girl was doing with four boys? Uh, this question is often asked. ഡൽഹിയിലൊക്കെ നടന്ന ആ നിർഭയ കേസിലൊക്കെ എല്ലാവരും ഇന്ത്യയിലൊക്കെ ധാരാളമായിട്ട് ചോദിച്ചൊരു ചോദ്യമാണ്, രാത്രി റേപ്പ് കുറ്റകരം തന്നെ, പക്ഷെ എന്തിനാണ് ബോയ് ഫ്രണ്ടിന്റെ ഒപ്പം രാത്രി പുറത്തു പോയത് എന്നൊരു ചോദ്യം ചോദിച്ചിരുന്നു. സിമിലർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കേസാണിത്. ലെറ്റ് us forget, if we can forget the horrible inhumanity of that response. These Nigerians have been raised to think of women as inherently guilty. They have been raised to expect so little of men that the idea of men as savage beings with no self-control is somehow acceptable. So women uh, are raised to think that they are basically guilty. So they should be guilty. A guilty feeling is driven to the personality of a, a woman, and our society is even ready to accept the violent, savage nature of men. So that's how we raise our boys and girls.